Dope, 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 let's get it. I'm a trapping fanatic, that shit automatic, so I cannot turn it on or off. Bitches all on my dick, then she hop on my dick, I'm like, why you keep hopping on and off? Your bitch all on my dick, she be doing the most, I tell her, little bitch, she so extra. And my gun up on me, but not run up on me, niggas, they wanna fight, they some wrestlers.
For years, the Uzumaki were feared because of their dojutsu and their chakra reserves. Not only that, but their sealing techniques were incredible, as the Sharingan was a fearsome dojutsu that may have even rivaled the Sharingan if it was around today in the shinobi world. The first grade was simple, yet effective, by making adamantium chains appear around themselves or their enemies, as this will be without any sealing technique or jutsu, making the adamantium chains that would appear behind the user kind of like Doc Ock from Spider-Man in a way. As a second grade, allows for the manipulation of chakra in living things. However, there is a catch, a physical contact to use this ability. And once the physical contact is broken, no chakra can be stolen, transferred, or stored. As for the final grade, a battle gear, almost like a Susanoo-like armor, is created around the user. Unlike the Susanoo, there is no outer shell that's created. It's almost like the armor of a samurai is placed around the user, but each piece of this armor can be enhanced by the user's chakra to make it stronger, but this drains it even faster. Because of all of this, there was also a secret technique, and this secret technique caused the Uzumaki to be hunted down and their village to be destroyed. Well, with only a few being left, they were forced into hiding. Eventually, a new host was actually found for the Leaf Village, as they needed one for the Nine Tails. And so, they found an Uzumaki to seal it within. But they were strict with her. A young Kushina went through a hellish childhood, just to be accepted within the village, as even many still feared the red hair and blood of the Uzumaki. And still, the same happens for her falling for Minato Namikaze. History continues to repeat itself, even on the night of their son's birth. However, some of the changes that are made are with Kushina on the verge of death, as when the masked man appears, she looks to him, activating her Sharingan. We see the glow of her eyes, they diminish, as all of her hair would change to black. Uzumaki, secret technique. Shinigami seal. In exchange for her own life, she takes the life of the masked man, leaving the rest to Minato. As this isn't like the Reaper Death Seal with summoning the Death God itself. No, with this secret technique, the user, or Uzumaki, becomes the Death God, using their touch of death to take the soul of another person. The fourth Hokage now has a job to finish, as he seals the Nine Tails within himself and his son, splitting it in half, causing his death as well. Luckily for Minato, he was able to give the final message to his sensei Hiruzen, letting him know that the attacker was killed by Kushina, and that the Uchiha can be trusted, as they will be needed to control Naruto and the Nine Tails. In this moment, he places Fugaku Uchiha in charge of the Leaf before passing away. Hiruzen, shocked by all of this, goes over to the masked man, uncovering who he truly was, that being Obito Uchiha. With that, he returns the body to Kakashi, letting him bury his friend and his sensei, as after a funeral is held, Hiruzen helps guide the Leaf and Fugaku to a better future. The Uchiha promises to help raise Naruto as much as he can. As time begins to pass, with Naruto growing up a lot better, many in the Leaf still do resent him, but he doesn't seem to care, as Fugaku makes sure he has friends within Sasuke and a mentor within Kakashi. This Naruto becomes incredibly skilled with chakra control as well as seals. Since there was so much that Kushina left to him, Kakashi put it to use, as now he has access to both of Obito's Sharingan, making him even stronger. And since the Uchiha were still around as well, a research program, they started it, as they were able to teach him how to turn them on and off. But it still takes an immense amount of chakra to activate them once they were off. As for Naruto, he's already unlocked the first grade of the Shinigami at age 9. Yet, he's still very childish with his attitude, using it for pranks and to get around the village. But he does know when to be serious. There is no Uchiha clan massacre, but when Naruto was around 10 or 11, Danzo is banished from the village by Hiruzen and Fugaku for his treason. Now, there will be a lot more peace within the Leaf Village, as Naruto becomes a shinobi at the age of 12, and so does Sasuke, as well as many others around their age. The two tied for Rookie of the Year, which meant they couldn't be on the same team. But, luckily, they both knew who their sensei was going to be. Sasuke was on Team 7, with Sakura and Neji, with their sensei being Kakashi. As for Naruto, he was on Team 11, with 2 other Uchiha, and his sensei was actually Shisui, who had both of his eyes here. Although he did have a scar on his face from his battle with Danzo. Naruto's first test with Shisui was to outrun him while he hunts Naruto and his teammates down for 30 seconds, but that was easier said than done. This test begun and his students were given a head start, and Naruto wasted no time at summoning the adamantium chains to give him a leap, as he would throw his 2 teammates ahead of himself, and then he created 3 clones that would scatter in different directions. Still, Shisui using the body flicker soon caught up to the 3 of them, but they evaded capture using any jutsu that they had available. As long as they didn't tag them, they would pass. And once this was over, they did many missions around the Leaf Village and continued their training. Shisui was very focused on each of their dojutsu as well as their combat training. They wouldn't have a D-rank mission like the Bridge Builder, but they would have a mission to take down rogue shinobi in a nearby town. This is a simple type of mission that they didn't require stealth to do, only teamwork, which meant it was finished within only 1 day, allowing them to return and continue their training. As for everything else, it remained more or less the same until the Leaf began preparing for the Chunin exams. Shisui had his team enter as he believed they were ready. He entrusted Naruto to be the temporary leader, but he actually declined. He stated his other teammate is more suited for that job because he's a half-breed, as this is when his name will be revealed. Sanaka Uchiha, a prodigy born from the Uchiha and the Nara clan. Sanaka accepted his role, and Shisui states to himself that Naruto is growing at a very good rate. The team has a rest period before the exams, but still does some light missions and light training to perfect their jutsu. Because Sanaka is so much of a prodigy, he's able to inherit Shisui's body flicker, and he can't use it as well as his sensei, but he can still make good use of it, especially in the exams. The first test of the exams is more or less easy, as they could find the room with no difficulty thanks to all of them having a dojutsu. Although Naruto is attacked by Lee, who challenges him in a fight, but Naruto declines, stating that their battle is meant to happen later on, when more could view it in all of their glory. Rock Lee would agree, and the 2 teams would enter the testing room. This Naruto has no trouble at all. Even when he does, Sanaka can use his shadow possession jutsu to just make Naruto copy all of his movements. The 3 pass, moving on to the next test, which will be the Forest of Death. And still, there is a grass village here, as well as a sand village, but there was also the lightning and stone who were here, as Fugaku decided it would be best to invite many nations and villages as possible to further their relations with them. And, with no Danzo to disrupt anything, it was made possible, being this version of the Chunin exams was quite crowded. So when Anko was looking around, she gave some teams 1 scroll, others 2, and some got none. It just made everything more challenging. But there was another change to this exam, in the fact that Fugaku had the Uchiha police force set up all around the forest on the fences. This was, in case anything suspicious were to happen, the Leaf could take care of it. And I feel like this is a good spot to talk about the Uchiha right now, since their names have been cleared, and one of their own was the Hokage. The Uchiha were seen as heroes within the Leaf Village because of Minato and Fugaku. As Fugaku started to send his clan members out more and more to help out the world and the Leaf Village, showing the village that they could do good. Back to the exams, Naruto's team headed inside where they wouldn't be given a scroll at all by Anko. Naruto ran ahead and he made it to the center of the forest with his teammates catching up. Sanako and his other teammate stood guard as Naruto would sit down. As an Uzumaki, he had access to a multitude of jutsu. Some were sensory, and that's what he needed right now. Naruto was able to almost see those within the forest, and he saw a team from the stone who had 2 scrolls. They set their sights onto them and rushed east. Naruto could feel that they were close, but no one was around. This is when they jumped around the ground to investigate. Naruto's eyes widened, realizing that all of this was a trap. He activates the adamantium chains, slicing through all the stones that were sent at them. The debris blocked their vision, but lucky for them, they were Uchiha. Sanaka and their other teammate dodged the attacks and landed counters that knocked out their opponents. Sanaka then used a body flicker to find the final one hiding on a branch nearby. He held his katana to his throat, telling him to drop the scrolls or his teammates would die. The young shinobi did as he was told and was then knocked out by Sanaka. He looks down, seeing Naruto about to kill one of them, but stops him. There's no point to kill them. They're already defeated. Naruto nods, but looks annoyed as he was stopped. Sanaka hadn't realized it until now, but Naruto was very aggressive and even bloodthirsty at times. Although he had heard many stories of the Uzumaki being like this, so he believed it was normal. They decided not to rush to the tower. Since they have both scrolls already, they can rest and recharge their reserves, as they believed the next part of the exams would start immediately. As they were sitting down, they then heard someone screaming from the southwest direction. Wait a minute, that sounded like Sakura. They then headed that way to investigate, finding Orochimaru knocking out Neji and Sasuke, leaving the curse mark on Sasuke. Sanaka tells Naruto to protect them, as he's going to send out an alert. Sanaka jumps into the air, using the fireball jutsu and then a lightning kunai to cause an explosion that could be seen from every Uchiha that was standing on guard. This would be their signal to notify if things had went wrong. Down at the battle, Naruto was facing Orochimaru, alone, being completely dog-walked. He couldn't keep up with the quick and precise moves of the Sannin. This led to the death of his teammate, who would sacrifice himself for Naruto. Seeing this, right in front of him, Naruto awakened, grade 2 of the Sharingan, as his eyes turned red and the tips of his hair become black. Oh, I see. You're the child of Kushina Uzumaki and the late 4th Hokage. Ah, those eyes. I've seen them many times before. The Sharingan. Eyes of the Shinigami. You know, it's said that your great ancestors made a deal with the gods of death for a taste of the power that you're using now. Well then, show it to me. Naruto couldn't hear any of what was going on. Only the taste of death was upon his mind, as he reaches out for Orochimaru, ripping the chakra from his arm, shriveling it up, as this will cause the Sannin to jump to a tree. But he looks down, seeing Naruto hold out his hands, draining the chakra from this tree as well, as Orochimaru would smile. This is getting interesting.